Looking good.
Oh yeah, it's a Friday. It's a Friday afternoon. So, and and
Ready for the weekend already.
oh yeah, and it's a good weekend. It's a good summer weekend. And guess what? I'm going to play my first game for the summer this Saturday, like tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. So you have already
So
built a team there or you've joined the team?
oh, it's funny. You know what? I actually landed in Canada, and the first
Uh-huh.
thing I did is play a game on the weekend, on that weekend. And I kind of sent some messages to some clubs when I was in Dubai itself saying, "Hey, I'm coming. I would love to play with you guys." And they were
Uh-huh.
so warm. As soon as I landed, they gave me a call. Hey, saying, "Are you here? Would like to meet you. Why don't you come and train with us?" So I obviously trained and I trained with them. And the next thing they tell me is, "The weekend we have a league game, and
Uh-huh.
you win." And oh yeah, so I joined this set of guys, uh, uh, and uh, and I'm still with them. But so it's actually the same team, but under a different club. So what I've done this year is I've joined a new. We've started a new club for this area. So I now live in an area called Mississauga in Toronto.
What do you
So
call them? The name?
we call ourselves Toronto Rhinos.
Toronto Rhinos. So from Everest Avengers to Toronto Rhinos. That's quite a transition, huh?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think there was a bit more thought which went into naming this the Toronto Rhinos. Uh, the set of guys that I work with are very passionate about animals and keeping them safe. So in fact, we've even adopted a rhino in the Toronto Zoo. So a part of our funds actually goes there to manage and upkeep the place.
Oh,
So
brilliant. Brilliant.
yeah,
So doing something for the good cause, that's amazing.
oh yeah, it always feels good, yeah.
So let me formally welcome you to the episode of Daru with Deewakar. I don't know if you're drinking, but yes, I was drinking a while ago, and I just want to take a break. You can see my like I'm a bit tipsy, just in the mood to do the interview. Last week we had a few guests here, and
Uh-huh,
I don't want to spoil it for the guys. Uh,
sure.
uh, but we had so many drinks, and it was a great session. So again, bringing you was very important because you, of course, the founding father of Emirates Avengers, and like there are few of us who have joined the club after you left, so we don't know the legacy behind the club and like something very basic, like why the name. You just explained me why Toronto Rhinos, but we don't know the history behind the name Emirates Avengers. So, like, what gave you like first thing that I would like to ask you would be what gave you the idea of starting your own club, and who did you pitch this idea first to?
Okay, so this honestly wasn't the first team that I formed. So
Uh-huh.
back in Bombay, I played a lot of club cricket, played a lot of school, college cricket, played to a level that um, I thought I was good enough to, but I never aspired to play the state level in India because maybe I wasn't so I didn't have the talent to go to that level. But what it kind of taught me is is your career is not everything. Okay, you got to have a life outside work, outside the things that you do, and sport was a great leveler for me. Okay, just the fact when I look back, I think most of my leadership lessons uh, or my learnings actually came a lot from field. How to be able to work with your other team members, making sure your success isn't everything that matters. What really matters ultimately, are you doing well or not? So team bonding was very important to me. Obviously, I love cricket. I would love to bat. Like you give me an option, I'll keep batting. I'm very selfish that way. Uh, and I, and given all of that, when I landed in Dubai, I landed in Dubai in around 2013, I guess, around July.
Okay.
You won't believe me. I struggled to get a good team. I didn't get a good team, and for almost like 6 7 months, I was like, where is cricket happening? Um, and I used to ask people around, but I never got good information. So I went on to start my own team for Nielsen. So I and Ashok and a couple of others, we kind of came together and formed a team for Nielsen, and it started quite well. But obviously, corporate cricket is very different from a club cricket because you got to always toe the line when you are working or dealing with players from your own company. Some of them
Yeah.
would be super senior. We don't know how they would take it. And then there was a thought saying, why don't we form our own club? So so there was me, there was another gentleman called Asad, who
Yeah.
actually thought through. Have you met Asad?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot about him, like a lot.
Okay, and obviously a couple of others. We kind of came together and said, let's form something of our own, and so it was a collective effort, I would say. But the first step was a collective step, I would say, and then when it came to putting a title on the team, we
Mhm.
said let's go the democracy way. So the other two guys voted for him. I haven't just I had some other thought. Now don't ask me what name I had put in, but I would have definitely put in something which would sound like a cricket club and not
Okay.
Emerald Savages. But that's where democracy won, and I was like, okay, let's go with Emerald
So, who
Savages.
were the other two guys who voted for Emirates Avengers? Just to refresh.
So there was Assad,
Uh-huh.
and I forget the other guy's name. And I was like, you know what? I was trying to think about it. Um, maybe it will come to me. It will come to me. I'll tell you who it was. But
Seriously?
both of them were from Nielsen, so both of them were colleagues in a way. So so yeah, so that's how it started. And guess what? Over a period of time, I actually started to like that name. I was like, Emirates Avengers is not bad.
It has actually happened to me a few times that I mentioned people, like I told people that I'm playing for Emirates Avengers, and they're like, it's a cricket club for Emirates Airline. Like, no, it's it's not. And a couple of times, Mario also made a joke after we lost a game that, dude, we are Avengers. We lose and then we avenge ourselves. We are not defenders. We are the Avengers. We behave that way.
Yeah.
But your team has come a long way. We have seen a lot of changes. Like I came for your farewell game as well.
Yeah.
From there till what today we are. Plus, you saw like a couple of guys already. I think it was Mario, I think, who said that now team has true intentions to win under Omi's and Anga's leadership. But yeah, I think this was a great initiative from you. You gave a good platform to all of us. I never played season ball cricket in my life. This was my first time, and I think cricket is a big part of it, but it also the whole nature of the club. I think you brought all these guys together who had like everyone is unique in their own way, and but we all gel really well. And we it's more than a cricket club. It's more like a family now. And of course, you started it, so like a lot of credit goes to you.
No, thank you. And you know what? When I look back, and I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to build. I didn't want to build a team which would have 20 great players. Everybody's trying to play for his own sport or his own selfish interest. No. And I keep saying this, and I've said this many a times to people. Cricket is not everything for us. Okay, the cricket is an outlet for us to come on the weekend, have fun, play hard, have a beer, go home, and look forward to that Monday morning. Okay, so you would see there is a purpose to it. We are meeting, we are playing to win, but we're having fun. So and the underlying word there is fun. Okay, I didn't want to create a setup where I would say, hey guys, come on, play so hard that it puts a lot of pressure on you. No. And we were, all of us, I think most of us were in a phase that we were married, we started to have a family. It was like
Yeah,
when we have kids, we want to make sure that we continue to play and show them how it's done, right? And
yeah, yeah.
most of us, especially coming from India, we always aspired to play some form of competitive cricket. Not everybody made it, but I wanted to keep that fire on. So in my mind, I think I'm think of myself as a weekend warrior. Uh, just go and play cricket, have fun, and yeah, that's why it started. And I would say, Deewakar, we were extremely lucky to find the people that we had, and I can't think of an incident where somebody crossed the line, people did anything unwarranted. I think there was always great camaraderie. And some of that credit actually goes to the seniors that we had, like people like Ashok, who would always kind of monitor how it's going. If there is any friction, unhappiness, he would go and address it straight. So that made my job really easy, right? That
Ashok
that kind
Sasal,
of,
yeah.
uh, and I was listening to what Hormaz was saying the other day, that he would send him like pages of feedback. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it did. That's exactly what it did. And I think I was lucky because I was very close to him even in office. So we
Yeah.
got to speak a lot. So yeah, I would say we were lucky to find those guys that we have.
I'm quite sad that I never got to play with you, but we're definitely lucky to have Ashok sir around. it's a great feeling to always have him around. He's such a good mentor. He's such a big support. I really want to hear about the first game that you played for Emirates Avengers. Like, do you have any memory of the first game you played as a team, Emirates Avengers?
I think it was. I have a very faint memory. I think it was somewhere in 2015, October
Uh,
2015, and it was a practice game. It was in Skyline Club, Skyline Cricket Grounds in Sharjah. And if I'm not wrong, actually we won the game. We
oh
won that
wow!
first game. Yeah. And then obviously we looked at other options. We signed up for a cricket ground in Ajman, and we moved there. But yeah, very faint memories. And I think if I look back, uh, I think it's only Jeet who was in the initial squad. That is still with
So
Emirates, I
let's
believe.
see how many players you can name from that initial squad. Do you remember all 11?
I wouldn't remember all 11. So, but I would definitely remember me, Asad, Vivek, Jeet. They were definitely there.
Vivek is the same Vivek who works
Yes.
at Emirates. Oh, it's the
Yeah.
same Vivek. He's been
Yeah.
there with the club from first season.
From day one. Day one. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a brand new information for me. I did not know. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that does give me a lot of questions for the other senior members, the current senior members of Emirates Avengers.
Correct. And that name comes to my mind. It was Hamad. It was Hamad who was one of the founding members. So it was me, Asad, and Hamad who kind of put in the team together. And it so
Okay.
happened that eventually we started off 2015, 16 was fantastic, but later on Hamad and Asad had different priorities, so they moved on. And it's then when the others stepped up. By then we had the likes of we had Ashok around, we had a Mario come in, Ankur come in, Ashwin was there, Vivek was always supporting us. So yeah, that's been the journey. But yeah, first game, very faint memories, but the only thing I remember is we won. So that was
Remember
very
which
exciting.
position did you bat in that game?
I told you I'm hungry to bat. I would bat top the order at all times.
So in general,
Bit
which
of
was your favorite batting position?
I would open the innings always,
Always.
always. Just the fact that I hate waiting. If I'm waiting inside the hut, waiting for somebody to get out and get in, I hate that. I rather go face, take it head on and pace the innings. And that was the nature of my game. I'm still not a slam bam batsman. I need to take my time. I will try and build an innings and play throughout, and that's always been my game. So a bit one dimensional, but I think that's been working for me.
I've never seen you bat, but yeah, like if so, that was my actually next question. Like, what kind of innings do you like to play, and any memorable inning that you played for Emirates Avengers? I'm sure there are quite a few, but which ones would be the one that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, I think 2016, as I look back, 2016 and 17 was a fantastic year for me. And there was one phase where I was scoring every game. And I'm sure some of the teammates who were still there would tell you that. Like
Okay.
getting a 50 was just easy. And a lot of
Wow.
that actually came back to my fitness. 2015, I struggled. I was like, no, this is not me. This is not a game that I play. And I obviously took some time, worked on my fitness, got some runs, and that gave me a motivation to play even further. If I have to if I have to pick one innings, I think there's one. It was on a hot summer day in Ajman in one of those tough grounds, and we were chasing. I think it was a 35 over game, and we were chasing 260 odd. Uh, After fielding for 35 overs in that heat and going back and chasing that score down was fantastic. I vividly remember I got around 63 or 64, uh,
Okay.
and that kind of set the tone. Then
Wow. It is a 20
yeah,
over game.
35, 35 over
35.
game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Batting you.
Initially, they weren't really pushing to have shorter games. They let us have. It was, and I think it was a white. We played that game in whites. So
So I have
yeah.
not played a game in whites for Emirates Avengers yet. So I'm yet to make.
Never.
We'll have to see how that goes. But so we have heard about your batting position, like you. And what about your fielding? Like, which position do you like to field at?
I know you're asking that question. So um, yeah, because I was leading the side, I always wanted to be in the quadrant, in the circle.
Mhm.
So I always prefer around covers or mid wicket. Yeah, those are my, because that just gave me control over the field and what's happening in the game.
And what was happening? So what it was always in your mind what's happening with the game, but we have heard this a few times now about the whole period of Butterfingers Aniket. where you did not catch anything. Everything was slipping out of your hand. So would you like to tell our viewers about that incident? Like, what was going on with you that time, and how did you overcome that situation?
Oh, it was a horrendous time. It was horrendous time, and it lasted for really long. Too long for my liking, I would say. So I think that it lasted for almost half a season. There was a point where I was dropping every game, every catch. The minute it left the bat and it was coming to it came to me, I was like, gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. I think it was more psychological, and and I looked around. I was like, "What's happening?" And I was getting the runs. It wasn't that my form was down. It's impacting my fielding. It's impacting my captaincy. It was something in the psyche. I don't know what happened, but then I think I had Ashok around, so he told me it's more in the mind. You got to play. You got to fix that and that first. The only thing which helped me is I went on to do a lot of catching. I was like, I'll train harder. Go back to where I was before. Took like 50 catches every weekend,
Uh-huh.
um, and that made me come back. But and once I came back and started catching a few, then it kind of became a rhythm.
Then
But
you got the
yeah,
confidence back, and then it was easier for you again. But if you had somebody like Homi to train you, I can tell you, like, the way he was training the team before Mohsin came, of course. I remember in front of me, he made Ricky take some, like, he was just hitting the ball to Ricky. Some 50 odd times he hit the ball to Ricky, some 50 odd times, and made him take 3 consecutive catches. I think, like, even when Homi was here, he did mention that that is something he changed in the team, the kind of training we do, and we work harder to become a better team every day. But team remembers you for a very specific reason. You are the only captain who made our team play in an international stadium. So, and
oh yes,
the team played in
that's
Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Any
yeah.
memories of that?
Oh, I think I think it was such a big occasion. Like we always dreamt of playing there. At least I dreamt of playing there, knowing what Sachin did there, and
Yeah, yeah.
be able to share the same ground. I am 100% sure it wasn't the same wicket, but but getting a chance to play that game, we definitely signed up, and the result didn't go our way for sure. And I think we did get the. We went for a lot of runs for that game to be able to chase it down. But the sheer experience of playing in a Sharjah stadium was fantastic. It's not that the stadium is great; it's just because it's got so much of historical value, so many memories. That kind of I think got to some of us there.
Agree,
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. That
Somebody
was
from
one,
our,
and playing in ICC. The ICC grounds are beautiful. Like playing some of the games there was fantastic, and I think that
you
was
played in ICC.
yeah, we did.
Oh, brilliant! I
We
didn't
did.
know
Yeah, I think you guys should go to the Facebook and see some of the older pictures that we have. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I think we'll do that. But somebody from Emirates Avengers has a very strong memory of that game from Sharjah Stadium. Can you name the player who would have the
uh,
strongest
I
memory?
th- I know that person. That would be Mario. Getting hit was six
Yeah,
runs.
Mario.
I think
Mario would be second person. Mario does remember
really.
the episode because he did get hit for some 26, 28 runs, his worst figures ever in an over. But there's one other person who remembers that game uh, like more strongly than Mario.
Is that Ashok?
No, no. I'll
No,
make it for you. It was Ravi. So I think,
oh yes, yes. Let me take a guess why. I think his family was there, and, and if I'm not wrong, he didn't play the game.
yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
And then he was quite upset that his family came and they didn't see him play and they left. So yeah, when Ravi, Ravi and I, we have had this discussion a few times. But beautiful session, Aniket. I think we'll just close it with a round of rapid fire. I've prepared a few questions for you,
Sure.
which I would like to get your answers on. Now you don't have a lot of time; it's rapid fire, so you give the first name that comes to your mind, and the answers will have to be, of course. I know you have played for so many clubs, but the answers has to be from your tenure you have spent with Emirates Avengers, your
Sure.
club,
Okay.
us. So
Let's give it a try. Yeah.
my first question for you: while playing for Emirates Avengers, who was your favorite player, other than you, of course?
Um, I would say Mario.
Mario. Oh, nice. Okay, who was your favorite wicket keeper?
Um, It shouldn't take so long. I don't think we ever had the best keeper that we had. But but in terms of safe hands, I would say Hormaz for the time that he played with us. He didn't play when I was around. I didn't get to play a lot of games with him, but he was safe. He's a safe keeper,
So
and especially
I will agree with your point that we still don't have a good keeper. Still like doing a jugaad with that. Okay. My third question would be, who was your favorite bowler? But I think that has actually covered because when you name your favorite player, it has to be Mario. I'm
um, not really. One of my favorite bowler was actually Ashwin.
Ashwin, yeah, I've heard a lot about Ashwin.
Ashwin. Oh, Ashwin, and if I'm allowed, one more name, Allen. Ashwin and Allen right at the top were a lethal combination. Here is the guy, Allen, who would bowl Yorkers at will, and Ashwin would swing the ball in and out, and the batsman would have a torrid time. I think we had a best attack then. Imagine Ashwin and Allen at the top, and first changes Ashok, and think of the variety and what it do to the what kind of
My
what that would
God.
do to the batsman's mind. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I can
so
only
I'll say
imagine.
both of them. Yeah,
I can only imagine that. I mean, Ashok sir, like given uh, he does not have pace now, but the kind of swing he still gets, it's
he's
it's
he's such a natural. He's
like
such a
deep to
natural.
catch the ball.
Yeah. If it was an early morning game at 7 o'clock, I know who I'm giving the ball to. With the new cherry, it's going to Mr. Nair, and he would just do his magic. And and both of us would actually talk and say, "Abhi mid wicket mein catch aayega, dekh." And he would
I
actually, and that would happen. And mid wicket was his favorite position. And during the
Wow.
torrid time that I had, I think I dropped a few in his bowling. And I think I made a point that every time he was bowling, I was never around around the circle. I would go back, stand either at backward point or somewhere safe. So yeah,
Yeah, Ashok sir, like he still picks a lot of cricket. We keep talking about it, but let's move on. Uh, how about what's your favorite drink?
my favorite thing will be JD Coke.
My God, finally someone who likes JD in Empress Avengers. I miss you. I miss you. Okay. While playing for Emirates Avengers, one player that you would always count on for pinch hitting.
Um, for bench hitting, I'm just taking a bit of time, but I think we had this another Jeet. There was this keeper batsman called Jeet. He played with us for a couple of seasons, and that guy was insane. That guy was ridiculously quick with his hands and the way he would clear the friends. And during my latter part of the last couple of seasons that I played, I think
Mhm.
Deepak was really good. Just the way
Deepak.
I still remember the sound of his cover drives and the way they would clear the infield, and he played some of the fantastic innings that I've seen.
Yeah, Deepak is still the same. He's just going through a couple of fitness issues, but I'm sure once he is 100% fit, he's going to be back with a bang.
Yeah.
Next question. So we know that you had a phase where you dropped a lot of catches, but someone with the safest hand in your team who never dropped a catch.
Um, it's such a long season, I would say. Like thinking about 2015 until 18. If I have to pick up a name, I think Ankur was very safe. Ankur was a safe fielder.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was a time when he was a safe fielder huh? Because nowadays he's
No
not.
longer? Oh,
Nowadays not. He's a change Ankur now.
maybe the bug is spread around. It's going to goodbye from here.
Quite possible. How about other than you? Like, forget you. You only had a phase, but like now we have a few players that we can count on who never catches the ball. Who was that person in your team? Someone who you would count on that. This guy, no.
No, I don't think I was the worst. I was the worst in that phase. I wouldn't name anybody else, but yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay.
I
So
would say.
let's say that it's you. Uh, who was the good boy of your team?
Mm, good boy. I think that tag has to go to Ashwin. Just the way he was. He would turn up every game on time. I have seldom heard him use swear or use the F word. He was like a role model, and just how polished he was. I just told him, "You're like Mark Waugh. You'd play the entire day, and there would be not a single stain on his shirt, and he would have bowled like a 6 hour spell in that heat." And yeah, so I think that tag will go to Ashwin.
I think even I did not think of it while framing the question, but I think even Ashok sir would be something like that, right? Even Ashok sir would be like a good boy.
Ash, I don't. He's not a boy anymore. He's a
Is
legend for us. So he's another league. So let's not get him there.
okay. So someone who you always felt has a lot of potential but has not delivered up to his potential.
Um, Actually, I would think it's Mario again because
Mario again.
for sure, because to bowl at that pace and to be so aggressive in the mindset. Wow. And I think Mario's during my stint he was really good, but I always knew he could do more. He was my guy who should have delivered like 5 wickets every time he played, because he was that good. But obviously, given the colorful personality he has, uh, coming on time wasn't so fashionable for him, and all of those other things impacted him. But I think definitely Mario. Um, and again, the other thing, and just to add on to that, um, Ravi. Ravi would ball in at the spot day in and day out, but the poor guy at times wouldn't get any wickets. But I know he was the guy who I would trust to get me through 4 overs without giving anything, right?
Actually,
But
Ravi is most of captain's favorite player, if you ask me. Almost
is he? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Just the way he is, he would just do it for the team. He's an absolute team man.
but very good choice of words for Mario. Colorful personality. I'll never forget that. That brings me to the last question for you. What is a kind of behavior that you will never accept in Everest Avengers?
Um, I think two things: putting your team members down, number one,
Okay.
and not doing anything which your family or your kids would be proud of, right? I am all in for sledging until the time it is not personal, and I would if I wasn't clean. I sledged a lot during my tenure, not during Emirates Avengers because I was a captain. I didn't want to set the example. But what cricket taught me and what I learned from my school days and college, playing cricket in Bombay is tough, right? You go
Yeah,
sledging
yeah.
is comes very naturally to us. But one thing we always did is after the end of the game, if I sledged you, I would come and shake hands with you and ask you for a beer or a drink, right? So we ended there. So yeah, so these are the two things I would say.
We have always done that actually, even like Everest Avengers. But I think things have changed a little bit now. You were the captain, so you didn't sledge. But when Homi was captain, he was like, once he was batting, and there was this guy who was a bit heavy. I have to tell you this. He was a bit on a heavier side. And Homi would just tap the ball to him, and he would call Noor, "Aja, aja, udhar koi nahi hai, aja, aja." And he'll just run. That guy lost his shit. He was so angry. He was so angry. And then Noor also started. He'll just tap the ball. Arey, udhar gap hai, aja, aja. Like they were like usually we sledge when we are bowling and fielding, but these guys they were in middle batting and they were sledging the team. So yeah, we have had our share, like so
Uh,
many memories. Aniket, we are just waiting for you to visit us sometime, whenever you can, and I think it will be an honor to play a game with you. It will be amazing. We are all waiting for you and hope to see you soon. Thank you for time today and for coming on the call, and hopefully we'll regularly see you on our team meetings.
I would definitely love to do that. I still dream of a day where I would come and play a game with you guys. And yeah, I really miss everybody at Avengers, and I'm just so proud the fact that the legacy continues. And not because you guys win more than what we did in the past, but just because you guys are so close to each other. And that's what
That we are.
that's what the club was meant to be. And
True.
yeah, super proud, and I'll always be happy to be associated with you guys.
Any message for the team before we close?
I would say just one thing: just have fun, guys. Just have fun. Play cricket, play hard, but remember to have fun. Because end of the day, that's what we play the game for, right? Work hard on yourself, work hard on the game, but don't forget to have that fun.
True, true. Thank you, Aniket. Thank you so much for the session. And we'll see someone else next week.